despite making a pretty decent splash in free agency, the Texans still have some holes to fill in this upcoming NFL draft here in a few weeks. But before we get into that, make sure to drop a like. This is the first time I'm going to set a like goal, so can we get to 47 likes? 47 likes is all I'm asking for. Can we get there? Anyways, the Texans still have some pretty big holes. Personally, I think the only spot I'd say they really addressed was offensive guard. Because yes, they brought in Shantrell Henderson, they brought in Tyrann Mathieu, Aaron Colvin, but we still need a strong safety. We still need a starting outside corner. We still need a starting caliber tackle. I feel like guard we might be fine, but everything else we still need. Let's start off with our biggest need. I think this is one we just cannot. We have to pick an offensive tackle. I think that's priority number one because Julian Davenport is already kind of a mystery. We're already risking putting him out there. We can't have Shantrell Henderson and Julian Davenport out there. I don't think Shantrell Henderson was that good of a pickup. I think he's just depth, decent depth at best. I feel like we need to trade up and pick up a starting caliber right tackle because these days in the NFL, I think it's just as important to have a right tackle as it is to have a left tackle. That's just the reality of things. I mean, look at Breno Giacomini last year, Chris Clark the year before that at that right tackle spot. It was just bad, and it made a huge difference. So, I think the Texans need to stop lollygagging and just get a good offensive tackle in the draft. The next need, tight end. I know a lot of you guys might be surprised because tight end was lower in my list, kind of like in the past, but now that CJ Fedorowicz is officially gone, it opens up a huge hole. And I know some people like Ryan Griffin, and I'd even include myself in that crowd. I like Ryan Griffin. I love the chemistry him and Deshaun Watson have together, but I don't see Ryan Griffin as a starting caliber tight end. I don't. He's a number 2 tight end. You know that, not really a backup, but like, you know, the one that plays second fiddle to the other guy. He was number 2 to CJ Fedorowicz. He's not that good of a run blocker. He has better hands than Fedorowicz, I will admit, but he's still not the guy you want. You know, we need a balanced tight end that can do both run block and go out there and catch a pass, and Ryan Griffin just isn't that, unfortunately. I do like him. I do think Ryan Griffin has a spot on the roster as well as Steven Anderson, but it doesn't change the fact that we need that tight end that can do both, that balanced tight end. If the Texans can find one in this draft, then Deshaun Watson's going to have some scary weapons. There's just, some decent tight ends in this draft. Hurts, Gesicki, Goddard, Ian Thomas. So there's definitely some tight ends, but when we pick in the 3rd round, it's mostly going to be project tight ends. So they might start day 1, they might not, but again, needs to be addressed. And number 3, corner. I liked the Aaron Colvin signing. I really did. I know a lot of people didn't for whatever reason, but Aaron Colvin's a shutdown corner, as a nickel corner, as an inside corner, as a slot corner, whatever of the 3 you want to call it. Point is, he's a shutdown corner. He gets the job done in that spot. Can he play outside? I don't know. I honestly can't tell you if he can play outside. He hasn't really done it in the past. But if he can, then that's a huge added boost. If he can't, then just stick him in the nickel and he'll be good. But we still need another corner. We need an outside corner because, let's say, Colvin can't play outside. Then who are you going to play outside? Are you really going to pray and hope Dakoud breaks out or that Kevin Johnson bounces back? I think you need to go in there in the draft and pick another corner that can start outside, or maybe even a nickel corner. Because what if Aaron Colvin can play outside? Point is, the Texans need to go get a corner. And at number 4, I have an edge rusher. The Texans need an edge rusher. A guy that can get after the quarterback. Yes, I know we have Clowney, we have Merciless, and to some extent we have Watt. That's not enough. Because if one goes down, then what? And what happens late in the fourth quarter if they're tired? We need someone that can go out there. If one of the big 3 gets hurt again, we need someone reliable that can go out there and get the job done. If they're tired in the fourth quarter, we need that guy to go in there and get the job done. If it's third down, we need a guy that we can throw in there and we know can get the job done. So far, I mean, behind Clowney, Watt, and Merciless, who are our other pass rushers? We really have no one. No one. So I think edge rusher is a pretty big need. I honestly put it over 5, which was a strong safety. The Texans, as of right now, they don't really have a strong safety on the roster. Andre Howe's a free. Tyrann Mathieu, I guess he can play strong, but he's really mostly a free. So the Texans don't really have a strong safety, but the Texans have really never had that good of safeties, if you really think about it. Well, in the Bill O'Brien era, I mean, we've had journeymen back there. We had Daniel Manning, Kendrick Lewis, Gilchrist, Daniel Manning again, I think. Like, the Texans, I guess they don't need a strong safety, but I still think it's a need because we did let Eddie Pleasant walk, so we can also need a box safety, which is usually a strong safety. So that's also a need. And the last bigger need, I guess you could say, is a backup quarterback. Yes, I know the Texans signed Joe Webb, but I see Joe Webb just sticking around being that veteran quarterback. I still think the Texans need to draft a backup quarterback to be the, franchise quarterback. The guy that can be here 3-4 years and be a legitimate backup for Deshaun Watson. So to me, those are the biggest needs for the Texans. I think even after free agency, not much changed really, besides maybe needing a guard. Because if I would have made this list before free agency, I would have added probably just a guard, maybe a free safety as well. I don't know. Probably not, because Andre Howe's pretty decent, but yeah, mostly just offensive guard is really what the Texans addressed in free agency that I really feel comfortable with, because I really do like Zach Fulton and Senio Calameti. Chantrell Henderson, he's just depth at best. Tyrann Mathieu, that was a great pickup, but we still need another safety. Aaron Colvin, I love the pickup, but we still need another corner. So, despite them making some pretty big-sized moves, I guess you could say, in free agency, the Texans still have quite a bit holes to fill. Lucky for them, though, they have 8 draft picks to, fill those holes. What sucks about that is they don't have a first or a second round pick. So, let's see what the Texans can do here. Hopefully they can hit on most or all of these picks and really finish rounding out this roster. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have for you guys today. Again, like I said at the start of the video, make sure to like. Also, be sure to subscribe if you think I missed any other kind of huge need for the Texans. And yeah, be sure to subscribe if you haven't done so already. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.